Alright, what's good, gamers? We getting... Okay, good, we getting audio. I'm back, and it's time for the next installment in the tier list here. I'm not gonna be doing any re-tiering yet, but I probably eventually will. Okay. Anyways, I don't have Wi-Fi right now, so I gotta do this like guerrilla style. Okay, so starting off the list, we have Worlds, which lets you bring things out of destroyed timelines, which I think it's fair to say is that doesn't really have many combat applications. I'm gonna say it's a D. Ah, fuck! I need to expand this on camera, don't I? Fuck. Okay. So that's. Or wait, no, I don't expand it. I squish it. Okay. So that's gonna be a D in combat, I think. There's like a whack start to the list because Worlds is a fucking like god stand. Not as in it's like godly powerful, just as in it's a fucking like really powerful character stand. And this is a reason, a big part of the reason they're so powerful. Okay, so Worlds, D in combat, and as for utility, it's like an A. I wouldn't call it S because it's situational, like really situational, and mostly for doing the bad things. But when you're doing that, it's good. Okay, continuing on the trend of getting the aerials out of the way first. Tangai produces random fruits with varying wacky effects. Right off the bat, anything related to Psy-Catch is an F in combat because he can't interact with the real world directly. But if Psy-Catch is ever brought into reality, then this could move up a few tiers here. As for utility, Tangai is actually a surprisingly useful stand. Just, I wouldn't call it like the most useful because it is still random and luck based that you get what you want. But like it can work out more often than not, generally speaking. So I'll put it in a solid B tier utility. Fuck, I just moved the entire image. Servant of the Scourge. Scourge, Scourge, Scurvy. Okay, Scurvy Servant. We really ain't seen too much of it yet. But I think it's safe to put it, because it's just a versatile, just general, powerful stand, kinda. I think it's safe to put it in a B in combat, and I think it's just a B all around. Like, it's not the greatest, but it's just generally versatile, so it'll be worthwhile. Okay, this is a train wreck of a video already, but it's in too deep now. Pushing onwards. Now pushing onwards is an interesting one because I think it's safe to call it an F in combat. Because what it does is it lets you VVV with the whole gravity whatnot, which it might work in that game as a thing because that game's built around it. But when you really think about it, there ain't really much you can do with that in real life. That's like an F in combat because it's like not a combat, and like a D in utility because for one thing, if you use it in the wrong place, you just die. So yeah. Destruction Dance. That's just like I can't fucking look at the things right now. short-range telekinesis, I believe. Well, like it's like a specific distance away from you. You can use telekinesis and fling something away. That's like a D in combat, just because you have to be in a very specific range, which is pretty close. But I'd say it's like a solid A or B in utility. I think B in utility. I feel like I'm ranking this one lower good, but you know, Down Under. Down Under is a boomerang that always comes back no matter what. I mean, so though boomerangs obviously aren't technically weapons, they're still technically weapons, if you know what I mean. So I think it's safe to put this as a C in combat, just because you can just boomerang it into someone and have it hit them. And for utility, Rhizablight is actually able to use the boomerang creatively to fly around. So it's a surprisingly useful thing. Definitely not above B useful, but it's more useful than you'd think, considering it's a boomerang. Welcome to the circus. Well, it's a lurker stand. I think it's okay. Combat, direct combat, A, not S. And my reasoning for that is because it's harder than you think to make someone laugh just on a whim, like just any random given person. It's not going to be easy to make them, because it enslaves you if you laugh at them, or at Boo Boo the Fool. But you know, and then utility, I think it's safe to say it's an S in utility. Not for the right reasons, but I think it's an S in utility. Okay, and then Stinging Onslaught, the stand of it. What was it? Chick with a terrible, incurable epidemic, something like that. Quady. So in combat, it's just bees. It's just bees. It's just bees. So I think, yeah, it's just bees. It's gonna be in B. And is it? What do you? Like, I really want to put it in both B's, just because it's just bees. But I don't. I feel like it doesn't belong in B in utility. What do you? I guess. Bees are useful for the environment. Don't let them die. That's a real PSA. Don't let bees die. Okay. So. Shloim Tussig. I don't know how. I can read Hebrew, but it doesn't have fucking vowels, so I don't know how it's pronounced. It's a weird one. It's explicitly like not great in combat, because it's not meant to be used for combat. But as a utility, it's a solid like A, I think. I think I need to let me squish down preemptively. Squish down this C tier over here, because Todd knows I'm going to be using this. Fuck, man, I keep just fucking everything. Jesus Christ. Okay. Steak sauce. For what it is, I believe it's surprisingly useful, considering it's like, you know, so it's meat magnetism, yeah. So fuck, I just Control C instead of Control V. Why am I such a fucking train wreck? Alright, meat sauce, steak sauce, steak magnetism. So that's gonna be a solid like A in utility, and like it can work on living meat, so like it could probably be surprisingly effective in combat. I think, yeah, B, sure. Oh, Surface 47 is a stand that at first glance looks really cool, and then you realize if you don't set it up in advance, it's just garbage. But it's like a B tier utility, I think. Actually, is it? Yeah, you can like hide wacky things under it, but in combat, it's like C tier combat. I think it's not the greatest. Like it's better than like literal nothing, but you know. Okay, is that? Oh, it's raining, man. I'll count that as an aerial thing and just do it now. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. Amen. Anyways, it's raining, man. Combat C tier. I think that's fair. Cause yeah, it rains men down, but like, you know, and utility is like D tier. That feels too high, but I'm putting it there. Alrighty. Okay, that's all the floating length. Okay, wet hands. I believe the first stand that has a pride flag incorporated into its design. Good on you, Crafter. Wet hands lets him enchant things without an enchanting table, which is really could I can't say it's A tier because it's like on average that's not going to be doing any favors for anyone, but it has potential, and for combat it's like C tier because there's no guarantee that you'll be getting good enchantments for combat. Oh fuck! I just fucking showed. Let me close out of that. Okay. You should be you should be Jansing, yes. You should be Jansing. Is I said it might be FE, but it's FF because it's a blatantly bad stand to have. Because it makes it so anything you could do normally, you can now do while dancing. But if you ever stop dancing, you get like dragged away and don't come back or something. Okay, Chicken Wing. Chicken Wing ain't been seen in action yet. But I think it's reasonable to say it's an A in combat because it makes him into like a juggernaut warrior or whatever. Jojo Fletcher, that is. And utility, it's like a C in utility because it does require like you can't just whip it out on the spot for any task. You need chicken readily available. Niku 4211, Niku 4211, Niku 4211. Niku fans stand. Salt, right? It's salt. It's salt. Need to look it up. Yeah, you can create figurative and literal salt. Yeah, I think D is a solid place. Actually, not C, because like you can get salt all up in someone's wounds, and if you're going up against a mollusk, then you like instantly win. Utility, it's like a B. Like, you ever been in a situation where you're like, I want salt right now? You could have that, and that's what I'm thinking. Holy Diver would say the next line if I knew it off the top of my head. Holy Diver, is a surprisingly powerful stand, even though it shouldn't be. But the only reason it's powerful is because it's only been demonstrated on like characters that like are wackily. But combat is like a solid A tier because it completely debilitates the opponent from whatever the fuck they were doing for a solid like half hour at least. Like, it's wacky, and during that time they tend to get pretty fucked up. And as for utility, again, just for getting people away from you, that's like a good like B tier utility. And then you jam with the band. You don't. It's not really meant to be used offensively, but it could be. So that's like a D tier. And it, I have to say it's a B tier. It's like making jam for anything. Like, yeah, it's a pure utility ability, but it's like it's also just fucking like not an ability you'd be using. Me, myself, and I just makes you an asshole. So combat, that's an F, and utility, it's like an F, I think. It just, all it does is make you really cocky, pretty much. Moon Age Daydream. Moon Age Daydream is actually an extremely powerful stand. I think it's safe to say it's a I think okay, S in combat, I think. Just because of the amount of like surprise maneuvers that can be done with it. And I think it's an S plus utility, honestly, because yeah. Kind of weird that I'm saying it's an S plus utility when right now wasn't, but shut the fuck up. Letdown is Letdown. Fitting with the stand, I just have to. It just has to be DD because it's just complete disappointment, even at its full potential, pretty much. Eat the Rich. I should really like. I know Bankcon is literally just a Tumblr head that I made into a character, but I really like his design. It's cute. Eat the Rich, I think, is a C in combat, because if the opponent doesn't have money that can actively be taken from them, then it's useless against them. But if they do, then it's like busted against them. And utility, it's like a B, because yeah, the utility you're using it for is like eating people. But that's a utility, I guess. Surfing Cyrus is already ranked, so I don't need to do that again. Jeff Jorn, that's not the name of the stand, it's just a kid who's 4. It's just closed, by the way, and he's naked to non-stand users. So combat, E. Utility, you look like a total prick while doing it, but it gets the job done, so it's like a B. It makes people do what you want them to do to help you out. 7 Nation Army. Another stand that hasn't really shown up yet in action. It splits something into 7 of itself, so it's basically like one duck-sized hippo or like 100 hippo-sized ducks or whatever. Or I think I got those backwards, but you get the idea. So it splits into 7 weaker versions of itself. I think that's a B in combat, because it's like, you know. In utility, that's like a C, because I could see uses for it, but it's pretty situational, I think. Okay. Ultra Jungle, the stand that I had such bad art block while designing that I just fucking gave up. Ultra Jungle, I think it's safe to call it an A in combat and in utility, I think. I think that's reasonable. It's just a real versatile stand and pretty powerful. That's all there is to it. Danger Days. Okay, Danger Days, I mean, okay, no. The only thing preventing it from being S in combat is the fact that if Zuber is knocked out, it disables itself. Otherwise, it would definitely be S in combat. In utility, it's like a B. It doesn't deserve A in utility because of the downsides of it. So yeah, Toontown. Basically just perfected tomfoolery because it only affects the user and not the surroundings, which is like the ideal here. So I think it's safe to just put it like a tier above tomfoolery. Okay, well, actually, no, I think it should be on the same tier as. Yes. What the? Hang on. Alright, we're fucking back. What stand was I doing? Oh, Toontown. Yeah, I think it goes in the same place as tomfoolery in combat. Actually, no, it goes above tomfoolery in combat. Fuck it. Utility, I think it goes in B. Really, it has no relation to tomfoolery in terms of its rating. Really, it's not. Whatever, let's just get that. What the fuck does Iron Blue does? I need to. Too many of these fucking stands haven't shown up yet. Oh, well, that's just. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be doing you any favors in combat. Utility, like. What the fuck do you use that? That's a double F. That's a double F right there. God damn. Okay. Hidden in the sand. That's a not combat ability at all. If I recall. Yeah. That's a full utility stand. And it's not really elaborated on what it can find. So I'm gonna keep it at B tier, but that one might have a chance of getting moved up if it's ever elaborated on that it finds things sometimes that are like wacko. Which it probably won't because he's fucking dead. But well, gone, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Okay, what's new, Scooby-Doo? It's actually a really powerful stand because it's an inescapable net. That one's an E. A, the opposite of E. A and like B, and I don't know what you utilize it for, but inescapable net sounds fun. Crocodile Rock. That's a blast from some past. Crocodile Rock's a weird one. I think that's safe to say that Crocodile Rock is a little bit of a weird one. Cause it just if your enemy is rocks, it might be effective. And if you're trying to clear out rocks, it might be effective. Actually, not even that, because it's automatic. So, You know. Oh, how do I get a fucking picture for this one? I guess I just get Sting. The police. Actually, no, I get the car. The car is the stand. I forgot. Even though it's a colony stand. Whatever, fuck it. So the police. I don't think it would be that great in combat. Kind of unwieldy in combat. So I think it's like a C. But for utility, that's like a full police squadron you can just whip out of fucking nowhere. I'm sure that... I don't think that's A tier useful, but that's like B tier useful. 1-up? Don't know if that even counts as a resurrection stand, really. It just gives extra lives for various tests, so I don't think that... That's like an E in combat. And, like, actually, considering the amount of lives Sunk has, it can't be too hard to get him, so I'd say it's like a... like another B utility. Okay, guitar mass. Honestly, I think that's like a D in combat, C in utility, because it's too, like, unreliable to not be, like, low on the list. Like, if you could choose which effect it does, it'd be a bit higher, but that's not how it works. I get knocked down. Parenthetical, but I get up again. So combat, where's sold out as an E? Okay, so I think it's safe to put it in E too. Like, yeah, this is all the rest. E is the resurrection stand here, apparently. And then utility, it seems bad at first, but apparently there might be more to it than we think, considering it lets Ector stay at spot number 8 at the leaderboard. So I'm gonna put it in A, which is probably stupidly high for it, not gonna lie. But that's where it is. The question. Well, okay, so this is the stand that was finally able to fucking kill Shamazan after Shamazan refused to die like 8 times. So inherently I have to put it in S+, just based on basic power scaling here, as you can see. And as for utility, I mean, that's not really a thing that's useful, but it's still a fucking one hell of a utility. You know? Yeet. Okay. Let's end this. Don't worry, the video's not ending. This just needs to stand. Haha, ultra funny. S combat, because it's very similar to the final hour, and the final hour is an S. And utility, it's like... I mean... I don't know if it quite reaches into S utility tier, but it's like a high A. Clutterfunk. Situational. Very situational, so it has to be like D in combat, D in utility, just for how like dummy situational it is. Who will stop the rain? Okay, well, for what we know about it, that's an F in combat. It's a situational utility, so it's D, but it's still pretty cute. I mean, that's all there's to say, is it? Dirtiest song that ain't. Combat. Not really. Maybe as a distraction. I'll put in E for distraction purposes. As for actual utility, it's the reason DSP John is as good as he is in Death Solitaire, so I'd say it's like a C. Yeah. Ultravitus Forest. Uh, I mean, okay, so it's just fucking SS, I think. Not SS tier, just... Actually, nah, it's S. It's just double S, I think. I think that's fair. Doesn't really warrant S+. Rainbow Connection, which I think I'm going to change it so when the actual fic rolls around, it doesn't make them Requiem stands, it just upgrades them. That makes more sense, generally speaking. So combat, I mean, Kerm himself states that he's not a fighter, so obviously it's an F in combat. But utility, it's like a A. A, I think, is reasonable. We already did its raining then. Turn the lights off. I mean, where's November Rain? Okay, November Rain. I think this is just... It's just very similar to November Rain, but not over an area, but at the same time, it's, like, faster acting, more effective in general. So I think it just... It's balanced enough that I think it has the identical positioning as November Rain. Where the fuck is November... Oh, wait, no. It would not be an A. It would be just B across the board, I think. Because November Rain has the identity concealment thing that makes it... okay. God Save the Queen. Which I, for some reason, made look like Saitama. So... Damien doesn't really control when he gets access to it necessarily directly. But so it's not like it can't be high, but it's probably useful in combat when it does show up. And as it's been shown primarily as a utility, so I think that CB is a fair rating. Winter's Gate, Winter's Gate killed VG Destruction, so I think it has to be S+ in combat. Cause like, you know. Okay. As a utility, I don't know what you're gonna be using that for, honestly. Maybe clearing out obstacles. I guess it just shatters them. Like if it were to do that. B remix. Y'all are never gonna guess where I'm gonna rank B remix. So I think B in combat is a pretty effective combat stand when used properly. And it's a B in utility. B remix. Okay, and then the chain, which was harder to draw than it probably should have been, is in the Virgin ? Tier until further notice. X-Files. X-Files is a weird stand. Combat, I think it goes D in combat because it can cause some wacky shit to happen, and it's honestly like an A in utility. Actually, it's surprisingly useful for what it is. And then we're going for a ride. I mean, another one we ain't really seen in action too much, but combat, can't imagine it does too much in combat. Unless it does, because you could just send your fucking opponent to another timeline. Yeah, I'd say that's, yeah, I'd say that probably puts you up in the fucking C tier at least. God diggity damn. I'm just looking, yep, okay. And then, as for this utility, I think it's an S tier utility. That concludes this list. Tiers ranking. I don't know what voice this is. I wasn't trying to do chills, but I sound like I am trying to do chills. I'm just gonna end the video before this goes any more downhill.